You were supposed to go and elevate with this whole situation. Your broadcasting career, everything, Cheryl. Your podcasting, whatever you do, you're supposed to be elevating. But instead, you decided to show hate, very clear hate towards Caitlin Clark.
Therefore, today, we're pulling back the curtain on the real story behind Swoops' ongoing obsession with Caitlin Clark. A story filled with bitterness, fear, and a desperate struggle to stay relevant in a league Caitlin is already reshaping forever. What you are about to see will change the way you view the WNBA's old guard forever.
WNBA Hall of Famer Cheryl Swoops is no stranger to speaking her mind, but her latest appearance on Gilbert Arenas' Gil's Arena show has stirred up another round of controversy, this time for not her words, but her wardrobe.
But dig just a little deeper, and it becomes crystal clear. This was not about lifting Paige up, it was about tearing Caitlin down. The timing, the smirks, the history, it all points to one thing: jealousy disguised as mentorship.
Cheryl Swoops, this is kind of what you get for kind of not jumping on the tide, jumping on the rope, jumping on the boat.
Y'all, we talked about it. Excited about the opportunities, right? Excited about the opportunity we have. Starts right now. The devil's in the details. Everything we do. Detail-oriented, purposeful, intentional, high level of communication. Okay, we're gonna make a lot of mistakes. That's to be expected. But if we over-communicate, we'll be able to work through it. So high level of communication. I'm excited, y'all.
Instead of offering an apology or moving on, she stormed onto Gilbert Arenas' podcast, proudly flashing a Paige Bueckers t-shirt, a move so petty, so calculated, it sent shockwaves across the basketball world. On the surface, it looked like support for another rising star.
WNBA Hall of Famer Cheryl Swoops is no stranger to speaking her mind, but her latest appearance on Gilbert Arenas' Gil's Arena show has stirred up another round of controversy, this time for not her words, but her wardrobe.
But I'm about to tell y'all I haven't heard before, so I doubt you have either. Before the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means is if the WNBA were continue to grow at the rate it grew from 22 to 23, it would take until 2028 to do what Caitlin Clark did this year.
Well, she's doing it again. She's trolling Caitlin Clark again, this time by celebrating the arrival of Paige Bueckers. Now, I've got a theory. Oh, look at me. I'm not really racist because I'm wearing the white girl shirt. You see that?
But what she didn't realize was that the fans were watching. And this time, they weren't buying the act.
A recent episode of the show, Swoops was seen sporting a Paige Bueckers, the UConn star and #1 overall pick, t-shirt. While some might have viewed it as a show of support for one of the league's newest faces, Caitlin Clark fans were not buying it. Clark's devoted following, already sensitive to what they see as a pattern of dismissiveness from Swoops, it's straight up hateration.
On the surface, Cheryl Swoops walking into a podcast wearing a Paige Bueckers t-shirt could have seemed innocent, maybe even supportive. But for those paying attention, it was anything but innocent. It was a message loud and clear. I'll support the new face of basketball, as long as it's not Caitlin Clark.
Interpreted the Bueckers shirt as another dig at the Indiana Fever rookie. The backlash came quickly and loudly on social media, where fans didn't hold back, and they did not.
She threw subtle jabs, questioning Clark's toughness, her accolades, even her place in the history books. At one point, she even dismissed Caitlin's NCAA scoring records, arguing they weren't legitimate because they came in a different era.
When everybody else, they're quick to throw stats, right? It's like, oh, well, this is what she did. Like somebody's like, oh, Cheryl Swoops only scored 34 points in the WNBA. Caitlin scored 35. So you can't use stats when it benefits you.
But it didn't stop there. When Clark entered the WNBA, the jealousy turned into open hostility. Just days after more of Swoops' anti-Clark commentary had resurfaced, she needed to do damage control. But instead of offering an apology or even softening her tone, she chose a different strategy, weaponizing support for another rising star to continue her attack. Therefore, she used Paige Bueckers, another phenomenal player, as a pawn in a much bigger game. And the truth is, Paige deserves better than that. Not the Fever, While other franchises are still juggling rotations and adjusting to off-season trades, Indiana is already playing with mid-season sharpness.
Body to move quickly and our minds to slow down. Okay, that's part of putting us in situations where it's not going to be a structure, where there's going to be some chaos. It's up to you to start to find the calm in the chaos. We got to learn to find space in chaos so that we can put people in positions to be successful.
The biggest reason, buy-in. Caitlin Clark could have walked into training camp acting like the savior. She didn't. She became a sponge. Paige Bueckers fits into the activist mold more comfortably. She speaks out on causes, embraces the narratives many WNBA insiders align with, and follows the playbook the league has come to expect.
I never get why Bueckers is accepted, but Cece was made out to be a racist. I just told you why. She's a member of that club, all right? So, of course, they just put that arm around her. You get it.
Caitlin Clark, on the other hand, doesn't chase political headlines. She is proving that you do not have to follow the unwritten rules to become the face of a league. And that terrifies the establishment. So Swoops can wear all the t-shirts she wants. She can smile smugly on podcasts and pretend it is about supporting young women. But fans see it for what it is. An old legend trying desperately to cling to relevance in a new era she no longer controls. Caitlin Clark is under attack once again. But this time, it's not just words. It's a full-scale campaign by Sheryl Swoops herself. And the gloves are off. After getting fired from her WNBA commentary job for her repeated shots at Clark, Swoops just escalated things in a way no one expected. Instead of offering an apology or moving on, she stormed onto Gilbert Arenas' podcast, proudly flashing a Paige Bueckers t-shirt, a move so petty, so calculated, it sent shockwaves across the basketball world. With veterans like DeWanna Bonner and Natasha Howard now taking on leadership, Mitchell no longer had to carry the load, and it showed. She was smiling between plays, cutting harder, and attacking like a pure scorer again. That's the thing about structure. When the right leaders are in place, the game opens up. And that structure starts with Coach Stephanie White, who brought a message of accountability from day one. "We will make mistakes," she told the team, "but if we over-communicate, we'll survive it."
High level of communication. Okay, we're going to make a lot of mistakes. That's to be expected. But if we over-communicate, we'll be able to work through it. So high level of communication. I'm excited, y'all.
And over-communicate they did. Drills paused. Coaches corrected footwork. Assistants demonstrated screen angles. No one was above the standard. Therefore, even the stars were getting pushed.
We got to learn to find space in chaos so that we can put people in positions to be successful.
The biggest reason, buy-in. Caitlin Clark could have walked into training camp acting like the savior. She didn't. She became a sponge. She listened to veterans. She made extra passes. She got in the gym early and stayed late. And that culture of humility spread. Brianna Turner, once labeled a risky addition due to a resurfaced tweet, has done the exact opposite of what critics expected. On the first day, she and Caitlin executed a flawless pick and roll that ended in an easy finish. They started long before that, back during Caitlin's record-breaking college career, when she was already smashing viewership records and packing arenas in ways the women's game had never seen before. Swoops watched as Clark broke barriers she once dreamed of. She watched as Clark scored from the logo, shattered scoring records, and brought millions of new fans to the game.
And she's getting way more respect and all that stuff than we are. As she should. The young girl is a baller. The young girl has people watching because of the way she can shoot this basketball like Steph Curry. Steph Curry can't dunk. Steph Curry don't do none of that in the game. He can probably dunk by himself, but he don't really do none of that in the game. He is a shooter, and fans tune in to see Steph Curry.
She won Rookie of the Month 4 times, Eastern Conference Player of the Week 3 times, single-season rookie record for assists, single-season rookie record for three-pointers, single-game record for assists, 19. Franchise record for most double-doubles, three-pointers, career 10 or more assists in a game, franchise record for most career 10 or more assists in a game. Fastest WNBA player to reach 100 three-pointers. She did it in 34 games, most assists by a rookie in a WNBA All-Star game, for which she received the most fan votes ever, 700,000 of those. Fastest player to reach 350 points and 150 assists to start a season, regardless of years in the league.
Veterans, rookies, coaches, even front offices, all caught off guard by what the Indiana Fever just unleashed. And it wasn't just Caitlin, it was all of them. A brand new core moving like they'd played together for years. Caitlin Clark ran the floor like a general. Aaliyah Boston was locked in on every possession. Kelsey Mitchell looked reborn. And the rookies, catching lobs, blocking all-stars, shocking everyone in the building. Meanwhile, the veterans, names like Dewana Bonner and Natasha Howard, didn't flinch. They didn't babysit. They led. What happened at this practice wasn't just training. It was a message. And what came next? No one expected, because the Indiana Fever didn't come to play. They came to take over.
I think we have to understand that when one player eats, we all eat. And as we all get more opportunities, it just opens it up for everyone else. And I think Caitlin has said that even herself in certain interviews. And I love that. I love that she's not the player who's like, it's all about her. It's not. She's giving love and homage to those of us that have come before her. She shares the wealth with her teammates, and she doesn't have to do that.
The t-shirt wasn't a show of support. It was a white flag disguised as a fashion statement. And Caitlin Clark didn't even have to say a word in response, because when you are winning this big, your game speaks for itself. Therefore, every time Caitlin shines, it exposes an uncomfortable reality for players like Swoops, that true greatness doesn't need permission. It only needs opportunity.
Now, I've got a theory. Oh, look at me. I'm not really racist because I'm wearing the white girl's shirt. You see that?
But what she didn't realize was that the fans were watching. And this time, they weren't buying the act. They can spot fake support from a mile away. They can tell the difference between celebrating a player's achievements and using a player as a prop to continue a vendetta. But here's the twist. All eyes were on Caitlin Clark, expecting her to dominate the ball like she did at Iowa. Instead, she did the opposite. She set off ball screens. She moved without the ball. She made quick reads and passed up good shots for better ones. That level of unselfishness, that's rare from a rookie. And it sent a clear message. The new era has arrived. And no t-shirt, no backhanded comment, no desperate swipe can stop what is already in motion. As Caitlin Clark continues to break records, inspire new fans, and redefine what is possible in women's basketball, the haters will grow louder, the attacks will get pettier, the jealousy will get uglier. But it won't matter, because while they are busy plotting their next move, Caitlin Clark is already 3 steps ahead, making history, winning games, and carrying the future of the WNBA on her shoulders without breaking a sweat. And that, more than anything, is what truly terrifies the old guard. Not that Caitlin Clark might fail, but that she is already succeeding without them. And she is just getting started.
People will say, pay more attention to the other folks. Like, she couldn't do it herself. You know, LeBron has teammates, Jordan had teammates. I understand.
She filled arenas. She outsold entire teams in jersey sales. She took a league that was growing slowly and lit it on fire. And she did it without bending the knee to the political narratives, social agendas, or gatekeeper approval that once decided who would be allowed to succeed. At the end of the day, this isn't about t-shirts. It's not even about Sheryl Swoops. It's about something much bigger. It's about what happens when someone comes along who is too good to ignore and refuses to play by the old rules. Caitlin Clark's rise is not a fluke. It's not a media creation. It's the result of relentless excellence, undeniable talent, and a work ethic that leaves no room for shortcuts. Caitlin Clark is not the WNBA's problem. She is its greatest solution. The proof is already here. Most points scored by a rookie point guard in history. First rookie to record multiple triple-doubles in one season. Highest single-game assist total for a rookie in WNBA history. Fastest player to 100 three-pointers. Highest all-star fan vote in WNBA history. No narrative can erase those numbers. No bitterness can overshadow that impact. Aaliyah Boston, already a 2-time All-Star, was grinding through defensive rotations. And right behind her, Michaela Timpson, the rookie who stole the show. 6'2" with a 7-foot wingspan. That's already scary. But when she blocked Boston, yes, blocked the Rookie of the Year, the entire gym reacted. Not because it was disrespectful, because it was real. Timpson wasn't there to be a background player. She was there to earn a spot, and every player saw it. Therefore, every bitter comment, every silent protest, every passive-aggressive stunt thrown her way, it all backfires, because it only proves how much power Caitlin Clark now holds. The WNBA needed a star who could break through to the mainstream. They got one. But they did not expect that star to write her own story. And while Sheryl Swoopes clings to the past, Caitlin Clark is building the future. Every triple-double, every record-breaking night, every new fan tuning in because they heard about that girl who shoots like Steph Curry. Caitlin steps back from deep and drills it. But it wasn't just the make, it was what happened after. She bangs her head against the padded wall in celebration, goofy, lighthearted, and suddenly the whole team is laughing. That's culture, that's connection. It's rare to see a team this unified on day one, but that's what makes this dangerous, because the Fever aren't just getting along, they're buying in. And now, the rest of the league has to deal with that.